Goddamn school bus.
Man, them bitches thought I was a race car driver. I go back there and pick them kids up. Some of the parents say, I don't know, I want my kid to get on that bus or not. I'm coming in that bitch with that bitch to the bottom. I burned about 2 tanks of gas a day. They fucked up when they told me, said, wherever you go, you take the bus with you. Shit, I be all on the block and everything with that motherfucker. You know, wherever I get in with some gas on them, I got that radio up there on the ass. Thump. Huh?
You know you can't hear that.
Listen, all butter when I order. 4 and a baby, you can add me and a daughter. Let's get straight to the point. They can free that nigga Slaughter. Free my nigga too, man. He took 5 plus a quarter. Run off with a pack, then I bet you turn in them. We got fully loaded straps, and I guarantee we using them. We tucked in the stack, double back, then we shooting. Voices in my head, I talk back cause I'm cool with it. The ops take your chain, just retire from the street. Seen the ops in the picture, he was smiling with police. Put the Glock on the stain, I couldn't find the other heat. I'm at the point where I probably shoot a toddler in the P. I be posted with the killers that's allergic to the rats. Getting paper and we reading niggas' papers in the trap. One of my niggas off a perk, pulling capers with the scratch. He even shoot you out your shirt or blow an AFI out your hat.
Chow?
AFI out your hat.
Chow?
Shout out to Zip, shooting music.
Who was that? Turn me up in my headphones, please.
Hey, Zip.
Number 3. Yes, I can hear me. Who was that? Sorry.
Hey, Zip.
8 Zip. What's the name of that joint?
Still hungry.
Listen.
He been trying to come hard, too. He been going hard. No bullshit.
Has
Give him
been.
that.
For real. Shout out all the mass artists in the building.
Seem like shit either been shooters or that shit been Blanco.
They going back and forth? Sheesh. This should stop podcast. THIS.
One thing I must say.
Okay. Sorry. Must say it.
Blanco 5 out now. Go fuck with that, man. You already know. That shit turning up everywhere. I think it was the #1 album this morning on iTunes.
It was.
So
I saw.
fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? That's mad big. You know, to see Mass winning like that. You know what I'm saying? And don't get it far. He's definitely a nigga. If he was to win, he's going to pull other niggas up. So I definitely don't look at him as a dude that ain't going to show the love.
All we need is love. Put me in the booth, son.
But other than that.
Can I go now? Is that all right with you? This your Stop Podcast, THISYOURSTOP podcast. Search it just like that on social media, but specifically here on YouTube. Like, subscribe. It's free, I swear to God. I'm Machine Gun Johnny, Johnny Tsunami, Boston Johnny, Johnny Leyenda. You could call me what you want, but you can't call me fake. And don't call me for fronts. Oh, okay. And that's,
You already know who it is and what it is, man. Get with us, man.
Costin Braff.
You already know what it is, so get with us. More importantly, go look up the podcast. Good looking for everybody that's been going to the YouTube page. Getting with us, subscribing to the channel, fucking with the content. That's why we make the content, so y'all can get over there, watch it, fuck with it, drop your opinions if you like it, don't like it, you know, all that
Say
shit.
that
We
too.
respect it, you know what I'm saying?
Talk your shit. Oh, we have a birthday. You want to know who it is? Mr. Ralph Carter, better known as Michael Evans. Remember from Good Times?
No, I know what you're talking about.
He is 61 years old today. Shout out, Michael. And if you are into Good Times, get into it. I don't know what's wrong with you. So, let's get right into it, buddy. Splitting the bill. What say you? Or, I'm going to give you a little backstory. Group of your girls or a group of your fellas or whatever, y'all going out. We're going to have some dinner, some drinks. Is there a huddle-up situation where we discuss who's paying for what? Are we doing rounds? Are we splitting in the middle or paying for your own crap? And does it differ when it's groups of women and groups of men? Me and my clique have been a clique for umpteen years. Shout out my girls. So it's already discussed before we go out. and it's really not a long discussion. Girl, come to brunch with me. Girl, I'm broke. Bitch, I ain't ask you that. Or, all right, we're going to go here. I'll get the first round, you get the next, and we'll keep rotating. Like, whatever it is 1, 2, 3, done, and we're done. What do y'all do?
I think homies usually have a plan when, you know what I'm saying, before we go out. What we gonna do as far as like, yo, we gonna go out, we gonna get a table, we gonna pay for whatever.
Bottle service.
Dinner, really just when that tab come, everybody just know if you was there, then put the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes it could be confusion depending on how close you and your friends is. You know, sometimes you go to eat with motherfuckers that you ain't tight with, but y'all cool. So then I think that becomes a problem.
That's an interesting point. So you don't know the person, how they behave outside when we're going out. So that's a good one. Because like I said, me and my girl's been going out forever and a day, so we already know each other's character. With somebody you really don't know, a group of people you kind of getting to know, you don't know how people get down. So I could fully understand that. You know what else makes a difference, Kraft, is the amount of the tab. What you think?
I think that's what all that shit predicated on. What the fuck? If it was a $20 tab,
Nobody would
pay
care?
that shit, right? But when that shit a $2,000 tab, then it's different. And I think like when motherfuckers know we going to spend up to like.
Okay, so you already know we're going to, I don't want to say the name, you're going to a very fancy establishment where the bill is going to be high. So you already know, don't come out your house with no peanuts.
But I think that should be said too. Yo, we gonna step to such and such. So it kind of give you the mind range of like what you should bring. You know what I'm saying? It just can't be like, yo, we going to get some grub and then we end up at the seaport somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's different.
I thought you meant the diner down the street.
You know what I'm saying?
Not downtown.
So I definitely think it's on
Speak it to you, Mike.
who you going with, who you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And I think that shit is something that should be spoke on because it damn sure looked like it broke their friendship up.
You know what else do? Going off the topic a little bit, but it's still the same thing. When people go out of town, you ever ran into shit like that? Like, everything's all good, but once you go through, like, TSA, people lose their freaking minds. I don't know what it is. No, I do know what it is. You never know someone until you see them angry or you travel with them. Yay? Nay?
I think so, but like, I always heard people get into that. Yo, I went out of town, this motherfucker didn't have whatever the fuck. But me, like, the motherfucker that usually don't have, I'm not asking you to go out of town. Like, what would I be asking you for? Like,
What do you mean, asking you what, to put in?
No, usually when it's go out of town, it's like, yo, let's go to Miami. It kind of ain't, other than like hotel, maybe we get a rental, it ain't, like, what the fuck else would we talk about each other's money for?
The same thing. When we go out of town, we got to eat. So the same rules apply. It's just out of your hometown.
Nah, because every time we go out, we not splitting no fucking bill. I'm not eating every time you eat. You not eating every time I eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that type of shit is crazy to me when I hear people say that. Like, me, I don't, I mean, I can understand, like, we've been Ellen all week, so somebody might be like, yo, let me get 300 till we get back to the city. You know what I'm saying? But in general, just like, from the second day now, I'm just taking get the fuck out of here.
So then the same rules apply. Minus the food part, you need to be able to take care of yourself. You know we're not going to New York City. We're going to Miami. You might want to dress and bring your pocket accordingly.
Then I think with men, we kind of say what we're going for. Like, when I don't think we do the female shit like, yo, let's go to the city and one person has a motive that the other one don't know about. I think men, it's like, yo, let's go up there and get some joints or something. Yo, let's go get some jackets. Yo, let's go chill for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? We kind of engage it on that, like, with
what we're going for.
Right.
The purpose of this trip.
Because why would you just be there and not know why you there?
Well, I don't see that ever happening. If you be like, yo, Johnny, we going to Houston, it's already going to be talked about, yeah, we're going to do this show and we're going to the club and then we're going to do some interviews. Now I know how to move. If you say we going to a party, it's the gang, I'll bring accordingly.
Yeah, I think like definitely with that, but and I don't know, that's what I'm saying. Like I got a different group of dudes that I be with. Like niggas is more we out of town. Yo, I'm about to run in here. Yo, niggas want something, and niggas will take care. Like we do that all to each other. You know what I'm saying?
For
like
sure.
it don't really be about just like
taking tally.
Yeah, it'd be like, yo, you going over there? Yo, you grab me one of them sandwiches? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, we move kind of not like, yo, what you got in your pocket? Yo, what you about to give me $10 on it? Like, we kind of just, yo, get blizzards, get 3 packs. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, all boils down to...
And not to say we don't get aggravated with each other. Niggas definitely get aggravated when they get caught. When you get caught with the list, like, yo, you grab me one. Yo, give me one too, yo. And get that shit do get
like,
aggy,
hold on,
like,
sir.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going shopping. This ain't Instacart.
The homies I do it for is the homies that I know will do it for me.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Speaking of out of town, I was going to save this for last, but we're going to go right into it if that's okay with you, boss man. King Harris, T.I.'s, I think the youngest son. Nope, he's not the youngest. 18 years old, just graduated high school. I want to say the other day. He went live. His order was wrong at a well-known restaurant, diner-style restaurant. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The yellow and black one, the tasty one. Anyway, so he went live. His order was... Let me get the story for those of you that were under a couple of rocks and don't know what happened. So the order was wrong. He went live in the car, said, no, I'm going back in there. He went in there, raised hell, threatening people with pistol whippage, telling people they ain't like that, come outside, wooty woot woot. Then his dad...
Shit, from the looks of his father ain't like that.
Oh.
The fuck? Like, that's why I say this shit be goofy and shit at time. Like, sometimes, man,
that child ain't like that. I mean, T.I. is up for debate, but we know for sure that child was born well after his mom been making cake. She's a songwriter. His dad's an artist. He grew up in the gated communities. You know? Good. So I just I was like, whoa, I had to rewind it. Did he say you ain't like that? But are you like that? I mean, I don't know. Not saying just because you grew up in a mansion that you're not like that, but I don't know. Anyway, so T.I. gets on his live, and to me, in my opinion, sounded like he was not only enabling his child's behavior, but he brought it to some old, son, you didn't have to do that. That man is just a short order cook. He's jealous of you. He's poor, you're rich. I'm paraphrasing.
That's basically what he was saying.
Yeah, that is, but I it's not a direct quote, but that's the gist of his live.
He was definitely saying, we rich, they poor. Why would you be out there fucking with the peasants? You know what I'm saying? I'm
big, you're little.
His whole convo was that. I think that was like ignorant on his part, and to know T.I. is, as smart as he is, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's dumb. That's why I think it was more distasteful, because it's like knowing how he is, knowing how he speak. Okay, you found this shit to be okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? I can understand that your son, and I don't think he would have felt that way, God forbid, a motherfucker would have did something to King's little ass. I think it would have been a different story.
So you're saying he's selective favoritism because it's his child?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I agree with that, actually. Because if it was anybody else and he had something to say about it, he would use his $10 words, his thesaurus, and down talk that 18-year-old for doing the same thing his son did. So, so now, going into that now, the boy is only 18, legally an adult, just graduated, just turned 18. Because we've all seen and or maybe have done the same thing he's done, cause a scene, act like an immature 18-year-old. But the thing is that he chose to go live. It's 2022. So how do we combat the technology that we have that is needed right now with using it responsibly?
I mean, I definitely think, I hear a lot of shit. A lot of us say like, "Yo, these kids is out of control." I think sometimes we don't look at that. We was these kids. Like we was wild as shit. We was probably wilder because it was really like at that time you had to be in the street to be out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like the internet how you could be in the crib just talking shit.
You
to
can make
people.
shit up.
Like it was different. You had to really be in the streets with the group and all the other shit. So, I think people don't look at that like we was them kids. But I think too at these times when we let these kids just move along like that, it leads to the other shit, and these be them times to make points when they doing this shit so they can learn a lesson from this type of shit. That's why I feel T.I. should have been more of, nah, you're out of order. What the fuck are you doing? You shouldn't be speaking like that anyway. That man could have just slapped the shit out of you, whatever it could have been. And then it would have been a different story. I think I teach my kids from that. Yo, your actions, come with consequences. You got to know that shit. Sometimes when you feel you in the right, it might seem like you wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to know how to adjust, and you should have respect. You should be able to look at somebody and say, okay, this is an older man or older woman. Yo, let me keep it pushing. Shit is never that serious to where you got to, say some shit like that. And look how quick now we incorporate guns in the shit. When once he said, yo, I pistol whip him. You know what I'm saying? Dude could have just really pulled out, shot the little nigga. You already put guns into a conversation.
I fear for my life.
And that's the part I think the world we live in now don't understand. They understand it from, I could do this, but don't understand somebody else can do something totally not what you was thinking.
And it's not a video game, and you can't gauge someone else's reaction like you said.
Because a lot of people think, like, I slap you, you should slap me back. No, that's not what that means. You might slap a motherfucker might stab you. You know what I'm saying? You might stab a motherfucker might shoot you. There is no same playing field when it's violence. And people think, like, violence should reward with the same type
Equal.
of violence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this
like,
is not
so if
UFC
you
or
slap
boxing.
me,
There's no rules.
Yeah, like, oh, he only slapped you. Like, nah, that shit don't matter. So I think at these times we need to be on our kids and showing them this shit ain't cool. Showing them there is consequences to this shit. And sometimes you have to let your 18-year-old get beat the fuck up.
Spank said it was a McDonald's. These kids is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just wild. Like, what was it? A group of girls a couple weeks ago that ran down on motherfuckers at Mobile, asked them for money. They was like, we ain't got no money, stabbed dude. It was some females jumped in the car. Like, this shit is, and that's what I'm saying, because these kids really just feel once they say, okay, well, somebody else did. Now it's like, well, why did you as an adult? No, that shit don't matter.
Can I ask you something as a parent? TT don't have any kids. I got nieces and nephews and stuff. I don't have any children. Do you think it has to do with the children being younger with this fast technology and the parents not being as swift as the kids?
Fuck no, I think it's parents right now taking their kids' size just and all type of dumb shit. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you brought me to my grandmother, it was about what the fuck you said happened. If you said you caught me in the street, that shit already fucked up. Don't even matter what I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I mean. Like, parents was more to understand another parent.
But it was face-to-face contact. So what I was saying was, like, King went live, right? T.I. is on social media. Let me bring it to common folks. Your kids are going live. They're having fist fights and live streaming it and posting it. The parents might not even know the kid got social media. Maybe the parent is not swift on social media like the kids are. So once you already find out, it's too late. They've already done it. So they should face consequences, of course. But I'm asking, does the age disparity and the technology disparity play a part in it?
Fuck no. Because I think it's like he had to think he would have hit both of his parents and they would have agreed with him. Because if not, then
Why
he
would
would
you
have
do
never
that?
did that shit. That's what I'm saying. If he thought Tip would have been like, yo, what the fuck you out here doing? You're bugging. Bring your ass home. He wouldn't have did that. But see, motherfuckers know there's so much shit going on that parents are more subject to be my baby.
Yep.
You know what
Don't
I'm saying?
say nothing to my baby.
Like, and that's
Don't
not
talk
the
to my
answer.
baby.
Because
Miss
what
Tree.
you're going to do is you're going to get your baby hurt. That's why motherfuckers is killing these youngins, because when they say, freeze, put your hands up, a motherfucker think you're still going in his car. Freeze, put your fucking hands up means stop. No more movement. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that was part of the reason of your mother, your grandmother teaching you, yo, you got to listen. You have to listen, because you not listening causes some other shit. I done seen them, not to say any situation is a good situation, but I done seen where police done been more than a fucking right to say why they let off a shot. Because it's no listening, and that's what I mean. The parents don't give a fuck when it's brought to them. When it's, yo, your kid was just out here. Oh, nah, don't say nothing to my kid.
Not my baby.
And then
He was a good boy.
How do you think your kid look at that when he know he just was fucking up?
Mm-hmm.
You backed him up. Mm-hmm. That shit get bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. And then you say, so then you say they killed my baby?
He was a good boy. He
How
never
the
did
fuck
nothing
they
to
killed
nobody.
your baby when your baby didn't listen to you? When you said stop, freeze, the motherfucker didn't stop.
He said, whatever, Mom. Slammed the door.
So now when police say, yo, stop, freeze, and then he slammed the door.
Whatever. I hate you. My dad's going to have your ass. Hey, Seymour Clear, thank you for chiming in.
Telling you, I know my kids will be like, yo, no, my pops might fuck around and agree with y'all. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not for none of that dumb shit. Like, you doing some dumb shit? No, because I know if I don't teach them now, then who's going to teach them?
Oh, they going to learn.
Who going to tell them it's wrong? And they can only learn when that shit's fucked up.
The hard way.
Right, like when it's, now turn around and put your hands behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Or you getting that call from the hospital, yo, this shit done happened to your kid. And for the people listening, I want y'all to call in. When shit like that happen, is it the parents' fault?
I'll throw my bell at you.
Like real shit.
I
like,
was getting ready to say
that shit manifests to be that big.
Level.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because a motherfucker not listening then just start in the street today. This shit come from somewhere, and we all say that. So who fault is it? Not to say every situation, but I'm saying in cases where you can see clearly who is at fault here.
This is Virgo energy, I swear. I was just getting ready to ask you as a parent, me, not a parent. We say, or people say, oh, these kids are so bad, they don't listen, they're spoiled. But whose fault is it? They didn't wake up spoiled. So when you talk about these kids nowadays, we was those kids nowadays. You remember? I'm a true 80s baby. We was those kids. What are y'all doing? What are you wearing? What are you listening to? These kids nowadays. But now these kids are now these kids. Where they get it from?
In the 90s, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to think why police brought you to your parent, because they knew your parents would fuck you up. They knew parents in that moment could check it over what the courts would do. See, that's what I'm saying. In them moments, motherfuckers were scared to go home more than scared to go to the station. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like, which way you want to go, man? Fuck it, lock me up there. You know what I'm saying?
My mama.
Because I know if you call her this shit, you know what I'm saying? So,
all right, so whose fault is it? Because we were brought up in a different time. These kids are brought up in this time. So,
me, I can't lie. You already know I'm a firm believer. It's the parents' fault.
Lock.
Scare me.
Well, I think it's more of the parents.
Miss Tree says, someone told my mother I was swearing on the bus. I got a beating because I was outside acting. Tore that ass up. I remember those days. I didn't get a whooping, but my grandmother would make it be known that I was seen. One time my grandmother randomly was like, oh, you had on a white tank top and some jeans. Miss so-and-so saw you. I wasn't doing anything, clearly. But she just let it be known that there's eyes everywhere. And that was before cell phones, even before pages. Now there's less human face-to-face contact, so I think that plays a huge part. Even with the modern technology, I could take a picture. I took a picture of my nephew on the bus. I did the same thing, except for I could send his mom a picture. You know he's out here. He said he's good. Just checking.
I mean, I definitely think but then you know what I noticed too, a lot of the parents that was around in our days still don't play that shit. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So if they didn't play that with us, now we have the kids. Why are we not playing that with them? We didn't get played with, so why are we playing with them?
Shit now is like parents is taking the responsibility off their kids. Like real shit. Even when kids have kids, the parents are, you know, hold the kid down more than making the kid feel you're a mother, you're a father. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, I'm gonna be more of a grandmother because of whatever have you. I think that had a lot to do with it when you're young like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't too much shit like motherfuckers just could go somewhere for money when you had a little drag. Mm-hmm. Like when that nigga was younger, I was 16, she was 17. That shit was like, oh no, y'all had a kid. Mm-hmm. Fuck y'all go. Y'all go to the park, take Lil Dre to the park. You know what I'm saying? Like it was always, you know, my mother, her mother, or my grandson. But that was when they wanted to. If they felt doing that shit every week. But it just wasn't like, oh yeah, we was thinking about, now you can leave them. Hell no.
You better think again.
You know what I'm saying? So I do feel when these kids get into these altercations, like King, it's more of a parent situation.
So my question now, again, I wasn't sure if that was the answer or an answer. If our parents and grandparents didn't play no games with us, we know how it is. Why are we not playing with our kids now?
Because it's no longer about parenting. Everybody see it as a cool thing. It's better to be cool with your kid than a parent to your kid.
Okay. So,
that's what I feel.
I can dig that. Like, it's easier
to parent from
a peer.
Now you turning yourself into a kid instead of a mother or a father, and then being a kid with your kid. And that's how kids look at their parents nowadays. Like, I done seen motherfuckers be like, yeah, nigga, fuck her, and be talking about his mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done seen a motherfucker ask about a person's mother, and they be like, oh, that bitch upstairs. It's a fact. Like, no bullshit. That shit's, like, way gone to just the respect of shit and having respect for people and your elders and people in your community. That shit long gone.
It's sad.
Like, niggas used to could get their ass whooped if niggas was all in the hallway fucking around and somebody came in with bags and nobody moved. Let your motherfucking parent hurt him. Nigga, you didn't slaughter and then you didn't grab a bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? They put that in it. These are people that live under us. She watch you grow up. You don't move with, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean about principles. More, all that shit was really set in you as a kid. So then you just knew you couldn't disrespect any older person. That's why we tread it lightly growing up. Like, yeah, we'll all get with us and swear the shit out of it. Let somebody older come through, niggas is chill with that shit.
Clean it right on up. Shut right on up.
And I don't think it was about, like, a lot of it was, nah, I'll take that back. Like,
what?
Like 70% of that shit, 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s was fair. I can't even stunt. I fed my grandmother. Like, I knew she'd bust ass. Like, wasn't nothing else to it. Like, she wasn't bullshitting, no nothing.
Miss Tree said, I think it's a King thing, talking about the boy. His other children don't show up in the world that way. T.I.'s pompous, arrogant, elitist attitude just wore on the boy. So it's a King thing, not necessarily only a King thing, if that makes sense. She said his other children don't move like that we see, anyway.
I can see that, and when I was reading it, when she said it, it seemed like he put that more on King even in the show. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you the one more than, like, the other little boy, the older one, because he seemed like he's more, like, on some J. Cole shit, the other one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely him probably being the one that take T.I. and, you know what I'm saying, embody
the entertainer T.I., you know not Dad.
Right.
Miss Tree said, old as I am, I still don't swear in front of my elders. Ain't that the truth, Roof?
No, that's official. I still try not to.
You got a potty mouth.
Yeah, I be trying not to. Like, it is sometimes I think about it after, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn. But, me, I'm still that type, too. Like, you know, Cookhouse Trina and them back there, I get away from them. Like,
I'm not going to be able to.
I don't be in the mix with them, like, you know, because those are my, so it ain't like I feel I can party with them. Like, I could chop it up, have a conversation, but just being with them all, fuck, that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't how I was raised. So it's definitely a difference.
Speaking of people on social media and posting every single little freaking thing, we got to talk about this at length a little bit more, because you just said if you bring that type of energy, you got to expect something in return. I'm about to get to it.
Meaning what?
The 10-year-old and the 18-year-old made some threats about shooting up schools, and they posted it. They got booked for it. Now, at the environment and the culture that we are in right now,
I hate this shit too.
That we're in right now, you got to expect some type of repercussion.
Sleep. Yo, Spank stupid as shit. Nigga said, I swear in my sleep.
Oh my God, I could speak Spanish in my dreams fluently. But so like you said, you gotta expect some type of repercussion to come back at you. So why is it different with? Yeah, they were empty threats. Thank goodness they were empty. They didn't find any weapons in the children's homes that they lived at. But if you say things like that in the climate that we're in,
I definitely think it's because now everything, like, I don't know if you watched the interview on Joe's pod where they was talking to Lotto.
I didn't get to see the whole thing. Sorry.
But when they was talking to her about it, she was saying how the kids her age, now everything you do, you express it on social media.
Okay.
That's like your
diary.
Outlook. Even when you don't want that many people to see it, it's where you express yourself. Because they done got hip to that shit being like an inner brain. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And what I was saying, I think, yes, if the internet and all this shit was going on 80s and 90s, yeah, niggas would have been all fucked up too. That's what I'm saying, because I could tell you some of my thoughts as a kid.
You would have been under the
ass whooping.
You'd have been under the jail.
Oh my goodness, nigga! My grandmother would have probably came back in there and fucked me up again. Like, nigga, you online talking shit like this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about your mind as a kid when you was heated, frustrated, or just got an ass whooping, just got on punishment, just got told you couldn't do something that you really wanted to do.
Be in the bathroom like,
yeah, how many times, like,
but you don't
she
say
done
it,
said
you
no, you done slammed the door, you done been like, middle finger or motherfucker, like,
under your breath. What you say?
And sometimes you done got caught. What you say?
Nothing.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, nah, definitely, I feel it's just the time when everything is just so fucking social. But do I think they are doing shit that we wasn't doing? No.
It's just for the world to see.
Exactly. Because I think, like, as a whole, and back then I can only speak like Boston, Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan. It's some shit niggas that niggas would have been
booked.
Way booked.
Book them, Dano.
And I'm not even talking about like shootings and shit. I'm talking about like jumpings, robberies, like some jumpings was crazy in the 90s. Niggas getting thrown in front of buses, like niggas getting thrown off buses.
Allegedly.
Niggas freezing eggs and just wait till the bus open they shit on Blue Hill and just egg them with frozen eggs. Like
Ain't getting that shit off.
Halloween, just running around doing shit to people. Like, remember that? Like, people used to really get up, be 30 deep, just walking around looking for shit to do on Halloween.
And I was right up in my house. I surely do remember that. Miss
Like,
Tree says, "See you when they free, little ninjas."
Well, that's how it be. Like, motherfuckers would have been done. Like, I think about all the shit we was doing, and for social media to been popular, we'd have been doing that shit on social media. That's what I'm saying. I don't see nobody social media being this popular and niggas ain't on it. No,
I agree.
Cause this stupid ass older niggas on there now doing dumb shit.
That didn't grow up with this,
They
like we
didn't grow
did.
up with this, but they just feed right into this shit because it's naturally in us. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Spank said, "My mom's beat me like it was for the championship."
Wow. Remember them getting out the tub ass whoopings? Like,
No, I don't.
man,
Thank
shit
goodness.
was crazy, man.
I'm sorry that happened to y'all.
And word, do I say like every ass whooping wasn't worth it? That's something too I want. When y'all get a chance, call in 857-225-9250. I want to know, was your ass whoopings worth it to you?
You trying to go there?
Because I think my ass whoopings, I think, built character.
It might have. Okay, go ahead.
Word, I think built character, but it also taught me growing up how not to force my hand too much, if that makes sense.
I hear you.
Like, I don't know. Like I said, I was scared of my grandmoms. Like, for a minute, you know, it was years I was scared of my mom. Like, that shit took, like, teenage years to get out of, like, the ass whooping, just ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? But
What you was like Denzel and Glory with that one tear, refusing to emote.
nah, I think I think my ass whooping is perfect. Like, I really do.
Yeah, all right now. Caller, you live. Who's this? Hold on a sec.
Hold on, let me look it up.
All right now. Caller, you live. Who is this?
It's Tree, y'all. How y'all doing tonight?
Hi, Miss Tree.
I'm good. I just wanted to comment about the ass whoopings. I personally never felt any one of the ass whoopings I received was justified or warranted, honestly speaking. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what I did wrong. I didn't think reality is I probably was very, very wrong. But even as an adult, I still be like, "Whoa, was fucking around hitting me for nothing. I ain't even really did shit. It wasn't really that serious or whatever." But reality is probably I earned every last one of them. But in my mind, still, even when I think back today, I'd be like, nah, she was wilding out. She was in a bad mood because fuck that. I wasn't even one of them kind of kids.
I appreciate your honesty about that because let me tell you what I think, Miss Tree and Kraft. I think that some people that did get whoopings or spankings growing up, they are afraid to say, you know what, maybe it wasn't warranted because now it seems like you're talking shit about your parents' parenting. And no one wants to do that in real life.
I do it in super real life.
I can see that. I can see that.
So people are like, oh, I'm not saying nothing bad about my mama. So that translates into that ass whooping was warranted. I hate her. She was like Precious's mom. Like it's not that extreme. You can criticize your parents' parenting and still love them.
Right. Do you think now that kids get no ass whoopings, today they are the way they are because there's no ass whoopings around?
Oh, shit. I think it's a problem. I think when they took ass kickings off the table, shit went to the left. It just really went to the left. I could tell you personally, like, I was a big advocate on, kick your ass where you act up at type of time. Like, I was really on some, like, where you act up at is where you got fucked up at. Like, and I mean literally welfare office, store. I don't give, I was on that kind of time until about 8 years ago. I was on my wild out shit, acting up, trying to keep a firm hand over my children as a single mother, because really that's really all I was trying to do, was just trying to keep control. And my black ass ended up going to jail. Shit get very different then. You know what I mean? Like, shit gets very different when you realize, like, you can't hit your kids. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. And literally, it wasn't that I was just wilding out. My daughter swung at me, and I swung fuck back. Like, fuck you thought. You know what I mean? Like, and for, as far as I was concerned, it was like, you just lost the fight. That's it. Nothing happened to you. You know what I mean? But for them, you just assaulted your kid, and I literally sat in jail for a day and a half. Dre, your mama had to come get me.
I was getting ready to say, I think I remember that too. I think I do remember that. And it's crazy
and
now
it caused a lot of issues. It caused a lot of issues in my life. But what it also did was make me realize, like, okay, I don't have to leave with my children with such a firm hand. I don't have to do that. But it took that moment for me to realize. You know what I'm saying? But I still think we should have the control and the latitude to deal with our children the way we see fit.
I think the issue is because it's a slippery slope. I hear people say, let me just tell y'all that, and Dre knows this. The only time I was ever hit as a child was when my step-parent at the time abused me, right? So my mother, my grandmother, the people that I was raised around primarily, I didn't get spankings. Turned out okay. I think there's other ways you can control or get your children to behave without hitting them. I'm not perfect, but I was fine without it,
I think.
And when people say, it's just a spanking, is a difference between a pow-pow on the butt and closed fist, belt buckle ass whoopings. Some people don't have that switch to turn it off. So now no one gets their ass whooped because now you don't know how to stop.
But I think, too, it's taking control from the parent, and then you're damn near giving it to the kid.
Just because you can't hit them, it's not necessary.
What, hitting the kid?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think
I think busting
found a lot of kids using it as a weapon against their parents because now they knew it was an option,
Right. And I feel like as growing up, being around a community that just whooped their kids, that stopped us from doing a lot of bogus shit. Not a lot of shit, but a lot of, like, real stupid shit. You knew the consequences of it. Now I feel the stupid shit is damn near recommended because it's like, okay, once your kid do something, you do what? What do you do with a 14-year-old kid right now? What is the remedy to he broke some shit. He fucked around, was outside, they was throwing rocks, he broke and went like, what is the remedy of teaching them the lesson?
Well, y'all know by now, everyone, Ms. Tree, Craft, and everyone that's listening, that I'm a firm believer in not hitting children. So that wouldn't be it, in my opinion. I don't know, make them mow Miss Shirley's lawn, you broke her window, or you got to get that job and you got to do this. I don't know what the answer is. I just know what the answer is not.
But then that's what I'm saying. It just, like, you sound like the cause. Like, okay, so then what do I do with my kid? I just let my fucking kid run over me then?
No, you didn't. You could still exert parenting and control and discipline if that's what you feel like you need to do. You just don't have to hit them.
That's what I'm at. So then what is the discipline that you think your kid would understand? Now that shit was way out of order. What would be the discipline?
I don't know, punishment, take away the things that they like. If they like going outside, now you got to sit inside for a few days. If you be on that game all day, no game for a few days. You got to get a job or go help them fix the window or mow the lawn or clean the backyard. I don't know. It can be any amount of things besides putting your hand on a kid.
So you think like going, because right now in this time, you would damn near have to clean your kid's whole room out.
Okay.
There is nothing you can leave. No TV, no game, no phone, no tablet, no.
Okay.
You know how much shit you would have to take?
Okay. Sounds like a punishment to me.
So then you take that. You think that shit proves some shit to him?
That's a punishment for your, as a repercussion of your action.
I can say personally, not with my kids, because my kids are a little bit different than how I grew up. I made sure to try to raise them a lot different than how I was raised.
Right.
However, the taking away of things and the adding on to chores doesn't translate to these kids in this generation, because they go to school, their friends have phones, their friends have all the, they still have all the access that they're going to have.
Wow.
And then they just find ways around it. Because most of these parents most of the parents are working, and so they're at, work at a certain time, and then the kids go home, and then they still have access to do whatever during that time period. And so they just get more clever.
That's
And
all
so
they do.
those ways, like, I can honestly say those ways don't work. Gratefully, other than a couple of situations, not major, but the bigger situation I probably had was with my youngest daughter. But other than that, I've been, blessed enough to not have anything major or, anything too detrimental to happen. But a lot of times I have a lot of friends who, a lot of that talking, sitting them down, reasoning, punishment, can't go here, taking away this. They just find other ways. And because we got social media, because we got the internet, because at this point, kids almost damn near need a phone because shit happens so much, they almost absolutely need to have one. Unless you're about to give them an Obama jump off.
The cricket?
You dig?
Yeah, you got to hit them off with a cricket, right? Exactly, but they're clever now.
You're gonna be like, well, just take it when you're at school. He's doing all the same shit he would have did when he's at the crib. He done told niggas, yo, Mom Dude's got the phone when I get home, so I'm gonna hit niggas in the morning. Like, I done watch Little Dre maneuver around me and Jennifer. I done caught this nigga with another phone one of his mans done gave him. Like, you know what I'm saying? We thinking this ain't got no jack. He's running around like these kids, and you talking to him is like some friendly shit. It's like some friendly Francis shit. Come here, let me talk to you. And you think when he left you or she left you, they was like, damn, Mom Dukes just went. Fuck no, Mom Dukes is cool as shit. So what do you put in as a disciplinary? Because we knew, I could say, as far as me growing up, I knew the aunts and uncles in the who would bust that ass.
So,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Miss Tree and Craft, can I now make the argument that, like you said, some of that stuff don't work because they're clever. But I can also make the argument that whoopings don't work, or else you would not have to do it more than once. If you
that is correct, but having a healthy fear of getting your ass whipped absolutely curbs something.
That's
now, I don't know how much of it is, but it curbs something.
And that's what I was saying. I wasn't saying it stopped us growing up, but it curved a lot of shit. A lot of shit like blatantly just smoking in the hallway, fuck no. Like, it was certain shit we did sneaky. Yo, we gotta go over the roof, get in the other hallway. You know what I'm saying? It was like we had to know what time my grandmother came home and not to be in this motherfucker. Like, it was certain things the way kids now, they don't try to rush out because they mother coming home.
Well, that don't sound like the child's fault. That we had a healthy fear of, when I said no company, my moms get off the train at 3:30, we out at 3. That's maneuvering. That's being clever. We just didn't have social media or internet to be clever about. We had other things that we needed to maneuver around. It's just that now they have the internet and Wi-Fi. They're maneuvering a different way than we had to.
I feel that ass whooping. One thing, like Mom said, I feel that the ass whooping curves your real stupidity. Like, that ass whooping is coming in. That's what I'm saying. Back then it was like not a come in the house. No, you got your ass whooped wherever you stood. Wherever you got caught is where the hell you got beat up.
Spank said, I should stop podcast, love the kids.
Beat through the projects. Like, motherfucker catch you in the middle of the projects, beat your ass all the way to the crib in front of it. Like, there wasn't no, like, when you got your ass whooped, like, everybody was up. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was more of the lesson. You didn't want that to happen again.
Okay, and
Like
then it
I can
happened
give you an
again.
example to the point where like when I was in school, I did incredibly well. I was like the most honor roll, merit award getting person. Not because I wanted to be extra academic, it's because I didn't want Patty Allison up at that goddamn school fucking with me. Because I knew if she walked in that school on some disciplinary type of time, she would whoop my ass in the school because she's done it before. In the school, in
Wow.
front of the teachers, in front of the classroom. Gave me a beating in front of everybody. That
Real
was in
shit.
like the third grade. My mother never had to come back to my school ever again. You hear me? Never had no problems with me in school because I knew how she gave it up. I was very clear she didn't have no chill.
That's what I be
That
trying to
curbed my
tell you.
behavior.
That
It
shit
stopped me from
curves
doing
it.
a lot of shit.
Wow. I totally agree with that. I agree with, it don't stop you from doing everything, but a lot of shit, the embarrassment, what come with it. You didn't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I even when they used to be like, your grandmom's is looking for you. Yo, she cut through Floyd. I made it a presence to make sure I met her ass in the house somewhere.
Not outside.
Yeah, like she wasn't catching me around niggas. Like I'm gonna go to the project. I'm about to go. Yeah, like because you knew what type of time she was on. She didn't give a fuck when she pulled up. Like you know what I'm saying. And like she said, when she came to the school, there wasn't no teachers telling her what she couldn't do to me or what
At
she
all.
couldn't say or none of that shit.
All right, another little monkey wrench. We talked about how we used to maneuver as youngins. Now with social media and the
Oh
internets,
yeah, I meant to tell you too. My cousin Rob said respectfully, but you just said you don't have kids.
yeah, okay, you absolutely right, cuzzy. I don't. So these are just conversations. I'm not. See, here's the thing. I always say I ain't got no kids before I ask the questions about kids. I don't have children. Don't plan on it either, actually. But I was once a child, and I'm an auntie. No, that doesn't make me a parent or the end all be all on parenting.
But the
But
aunts really like never want to whoop the ass. Like Mo never whooped my ass really. Like I can't even think of a time Mo whooped me. You know what
okay,
I'm saying? Like aunts, that ain't what they do. But I think also, I believe too, once you have a kid, it changes that thinking because now you really see this shit in real time. Like it's different. I think when we all just think of like, yo, I have a kid and nah, I wouldn't do this with my kid and a lot of that shit's hard to stand by. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not just saying a whooping, like a bunch of shit you say you would or you wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? It's
that
different when that
that's
kid's in
I
and
try
that kid's growing with you.
I stay away from that. You're right about that because I see some parents before they were parents say I would never let my kid have a phone or never let my kid watch YouTube or have a tablet. They had a kid, you know what? Here, you quiet, get out my face. I could just see I got the parental controls. Go and sit down and play the game.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
So that I get. But one thing I can say firmly is that I won't be hitting my kids. I can say that because I wasn't hit.
Because like you even say like with Little Dre, I always used to be like, nah, I'll bust this nigga's ass and always, yelled at him, whatever have you. But that nigga can't tell you a bunch of times I whooped his ass. Like that's what I'm saying. But with him, he wasn't that type of kid. Like he did dumb shit, not shit, and that's what I'm saying. Shit I was doing, warrant an ass whooping. You was just in a stolen car, ass whooping. Him, it be, when nigga, you ain't show up, you said you was coming in and niggas told you 8, you came in at 10. You know what I'm saying? Like his shit was always like some kid shit until I felt like, yo, it was crazy. But he wasn't a kid for like stealing shit. Every time you turn around, motherfuckers is calling you, yo, this just happened with your kid. Like I was one of them kids growing up. So it was like a different, and like Trina said, her kids, didn't grow up the way she grew up or the way I grew up. A lot of kids don't come from where we come from to even have those attitudes. A lot of shit with me when I say those ass whoopings help because I know without some of them ass whoopings, I could have been in some deadly situations. Some of them ass whoopings helped me not be in them situations where it was like, yo, let me get the fuck out of here, or somebody just said, let me get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ass whooping deterred you from the shit you in. raising kids, anything, girls, boys, yourself in the projects, it's a totally different environment from raising a kid on the street.
So,
And not even, let me not even say that. What I meant to say was back then raising a kid in any gang environment, because gang environments was like Interville Street was a crazy street. So I can't just say projects, but I mean like heavy gang activities. You know what I'm saying?
so what do y'all think about, remember how you said, both of y'all said, wherever you fucked up at is where you get fucked up at, right? And if that was in front of the whole projects and whooped your ass all the way home, you got embarrassed, and that's just what happened. But whoever was there saw it and heard about it. Now, have you guys seen how some parents are choosing to discipline their kids and post it on social media? I think that's terrible. What do y'all think?
Yo, you know what's crazy? I say very quickly, you know, where you perform at, I'll hop on the stage and perform with you. But when I see parents do it, I cringe. Which is fucking weird, right? Like, I fucking cringe. Like, why are you doing this to this baby? Oh my God, it could be like a 14-year-old. Like, stop hitting that baby out here. You don't need to be, like, I really get offended. So then it makes me look at myself like, maybe you got to rethink some things. I don't hit my children at all now, period. But I'm just saying, like, ever since my little incident or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, now, out of, you know, where my kids are older and everything, and I look at it and I see it, that shit is so cringy to me. I hate it. I hate it.
Literally hate it. You're gonna do whatever you're gonna do, but
I don't
posting
hate
it. You posting it online for what?
Because that's what I'm trying to tell you. Shit is like, a lot of times I see them post it, right? It be the where they caught their daughter online backing it up in her panties. Yes, how do you curb that? Anything you do has to be online. This embarrassment has to be online.
I think for me, not only do I find it cringy, but I think the other part of it is that the kids these days are not like my generation or y'all's generation. They don't have that strength, right? Like where they can just go through shit and just persevere. These children are killing themselves because they're broken. Their spirits are broken. They're in a different place, and that scares me as well. Like, so I would hate to embarrass a child or see a child so embarrassed by their own damn parent that they on that kind of time. And there's cases that have happened, you know what I mean, where a parent had embarrassed her daughter, showed everybody her dirty panties. It was some weird shit that happened. I'll find the link and send it along to you guys. But it was some weird shit that happened, and the damn baby killed herself. This is a different type of a generation. Like, they don't take well to all the pressures and the social demands and the bullying and the shit. Cause we went through the shit and it wasn't nothing. I didn't, you know, I was probably bullied. I just didn't realize I just bullied the fuck back. Fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? But these kids, it's different. So that scares me as well because they're not built the same.
And then if you make a mistake, if you do something that is wrong, for example, you're a child twerking for the camera on the internet, or if you're a boy and you out there flashing guns or whatever you're doing, right? You did something very, very wrong, very, very stupid, but you are not your mistake. Now, if I choose to embarrass my kid online by whooping them on the camera or cutting their hair off on camera or whatever the hell you're going to do, that is forever. The internet is forever. So you already fucked up by twerking or showing guns. But if I embarrass you further,
whoop their ass. But whatever the fuck happened is happening online. Yes.
But that's
because
forever.
You don't think, exactly. So you don't think you embarrass me forever. For right now, Boston to get caught on fucking line twerking ass naked would be embarrassment to me and her mother.
I'm telling you that it's wrong. I'm not saying to give her a medal for it. What
So
I'm
that's
saying
like to
is,
say
if you embarrass her on camera and post it to social media, that's embarrassing everybody forever now. You already messed up by posting it on the social media. Now you're going to post the discipline on social media?
Because listen what I'm saying. If she was doing it, she don't think it was embarrassment. Like, you don't fucking be online taking all your shit off and then you be like, oh no, I felt like, no. So you think it's cool, then how do I curve it to show you that is not the fucking answer? I don't give a fuck if we have to have a crazy conversation, but that shit is happening online. That shit is going right back on live that you was dancing on. Fuck shit. Because if she do it, right? So you're saying if your daughter did it, you found out, yo, here's the video your daughter tweaking online, whatever. Say she's 15. You're gonna then what? Tell her to remove it and then speak to her privately?
I don't know.
I mean, I could see her going online, but I think I would go online and try to appeal to her higher sense of self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would, like, go online and, like, make sure all her little friends is in there thinking they got to get the order and be like, hey, it's, Amaya's mom. I heard she was out here twerking. Y'all little girls like that, this is inappropriate, and kind of try to, give them some examples, try to kick it with them and help them to see a different side. And, and at the same time, be kicking it with her and let her know, like, because, we're not supposed to be twerking. We ain't on that type of time. This is not what we do. This is not, where we get our self-esteem from. We don't need eyes up our ass in order to get attention. This is not what it's about. And so sometimes embarrassing children in that way where they feel embarrassed about the behavior because they did it, as opposed to some totaling them and making them the whole thing, like kind of like what Johnny's saying, they're not their mistake. So like it's kind of like making them their mistake, as opposed to be like, all right, you did this, but let me tell you why this is so fucked up and why this is not cool and why that now this damn video is going to be on here forever. And now 20 years later, when you're ready to go get you a decent job or want to go, become president, they're going to have, president such and such twerking some fucking where. This is why this is not good. You know what I mean? So there's a way to appeal to your higher sense of self in those cases, rather than embarrassing the hell out of them.
We would have to still do it online, and even while I'm appealing to her, me personally just being a father, I'm damn sure gonna let her know how fucking dumb she is and how, like, we're not going without that. That's what I'm saying. I don't have that. I'm gonna do it how the public could be like, fuck all that. This is my daughter. And nigga, I need to explain to her and get her to fucking understand that these actions are not motherfucking what up. They're not something that can be done again. Because how many of these kids, like, I done seen a parent beat their daughter on live and then she jump on live the next day like, oh nah, she whooped my ass, but I'm back doing all this shit. So what do it mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to have a way to appeal to your kid. And sometimes, like, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes, yes, ass whooping is the answer.
Alrighty then.
And one thing I always say is, like, he would probably never admit it, but I could tell you for a fact, a lot of the things that stop my son from doing a lot of shit, he know how I am. He know it just ain't no, yeah, let's talk. He know immediately, what the fuck was you doing? Like, ain't no playing. You are something I love. You are something I creative. I can't fucking play with you because I know the next person is not playing with you. So if you gonna get it real, you gonna get it right. You gonna get that shit from me, and you gonna know every time I come, it's out of love. Because that's why I sit down and have these with you. This is why I stop and let me talk to you. But even in the talk, I have to let you know how completely wrong you was about this shit.
But Dre, let me add to something what you're saying, because I think in a whole nother way where you could be even more effective is if you, even though you're saying all those things, if you would say in that same breath, you out here fucking twerking, clearly I'm failing you somewhere because you're looking for attention out here. What can I, as your dad, do better or more of? Like, do we need to get together and, do daddy-daughter dates? Like, what do we got to do? Yeah, because clearly you're looking for some attention, and I'll give you that attention. You don't need that attention.
I don't think
Focus on something else. You know what I'm saying?
I think I would tell her the truth. You're failing you. I'm not failing you.
No, but what I'm saying is if you got a child, and I mean, that's just another way to instill in them that same energy. Like, clearly you're looking for something. You're something you created. She's something you created, something that you're responsible for, something that you love. So because she is, you're clearly struggling out here for attention and love. As your dad, I'm gonna give you 10 times more attention and love because I don't need you out here doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another angle that you can add on to it. You know what I mean? To what y'all been saying.
It's like when we was growing up, maybe motherfuckers be like, yo, I was looking for some love and attention, whatever. These days, a lot of shit is just done because this is what is being done online. Like, this is the popular shit. Like, it's little girls really just everywhere flashing shit, doing shit. Like, that is the majority. So a lot of the people, that's what I'm saying. Right now, we are in the time, whatever 70% are doing, motherfuckers just fall in that shit. They don't need to know if it's right or wrong.
Yeah, they go along with the trend. Whatever's
It's
hot,
like
whatever's...
anything. That's why when they say something's trending, that just mean mad motherfuckers just clicked on it to click on it. And that's what we do. We're in a time to where if we see a post and mad people are saying, oh, that's so wrong, fuck it, we got to say, oh, that was crazy. It's just this time. It's a trendy situation right now. Whatever one wear, everybody fucking wear. Everybody's running around with big-ass sneakers on now because of what?
The ibuprofens.
Everybody wearing fucking white girl boots now because of what? Because everybody's just doing this shit. Nobody's questioning this shit. Nobody, hold on, what the fuck is that about? Now niggas could explain to you why they wear women jeans.
I mean, well, did they give you a good explanation? Because I still ain't figured that part out yet, my damn self.
Niggas be like they fit better.
They running through all the size 4s, and I can't find none for my damn self. I am not appreciative of that.
Because it's mad at these little niggas just in chick jeans. Like, that's what I'm saying, because it's no more of like, when I was young, I remember even when I first wanted to start wearing Nikes. When I had them on, it was so much motherfucking flack that it was like, man, fuck wearing these. Even though they was dope, but it was like dope. Everybody, oh no, what the fuck you doing? Cause you know we only wear 3s. So it's like there's no more of people, yo, stay original. It's just now, whatever the fuck everybody doing, I'm doing. Like, you know how many jackets, boots, a bunch of shit, and I know y'all both see it, that people wear that you know that shit ain't hot.
And because they don't believe it. Like you said, it's a trend.
Or because this shit just say Gucci, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna wear it. But that shit be
I got a whole ugly ass outfit on it, like, but it's Dior. I don't give a fuck who it is.
And motherfuckers are gonna spend all that money with it. Even look how now, like, I remember when it used to be like $150 for a pair of Jordans. Shit, you bugged out. Now, motherfucking parents are spending $2,000-$3,000 on their kids' sneakers. On one pair. Parents is buying shit for their kids that they never wore.
Yeah, because we grew up on $150 school checks.
Real shit.
This generation growing up on scam and PPP money. You know what I mean? It's different.
These niggas spending 10 racks going to school. Like
Burberry outfits. Like, what do we? Oh my
I'm
God.
telling you, proms be looking like mini weddings.
Oh yeah, they go off.
I be like, yo, these little motherfuckers go off when it is time. I give them that. When it's time to go off, they go off.
Maseratis.
Absolutely.
Louboutins.
Like, they definitely stepped that whole fresh, flashy shit up to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
But it's like a lot of shit they doing, and I feel, I was saying now, is it because it's no men?
I would venture to say, because a lot of times there's men around, but they got, like, look at T.I.'s around, look at his goddamn son.
But
if you got the wrong influence, then you going to get what you get.
But that's what I'm saying, because I think we're so caught up, and that's what I mean in these times, to where if a motherfucker got money, he's a man. If he's influential, he's a man. If he got a nice position, he's a man. It's not the character of the person. Because even when you said that T.I. being a man, ain't shit about T.I. I would say he's a man.
At all.
Now, if you like, is T.I. right? And, you know, that nigga get money. But as a man and stand on something, fuck no.
More, like, even in this song, like, one of them songs in Live Your Life, he says, unhappy with your riches because you're piss poor morally. And I wrote in a comment to somebody's thing, I said, you know, it's so ironic that he would be the one to say that, yet he's talking so disrespectfully about why you arguing with a short order cook. I could have came through my phone and ripped his goddamn eyes out his face when he said that, because I'm like, oh, he's not worthy of an argument. Okay, copy that, because he's a short order cook.
And it was so crazy. Out of everything he said, I think that short order cook shit was the only thing I just kept catching. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him using it? Like, do he know how he sound? Keep using it because he kept using it, and I don't know why that part just kept standing out.
It was meant to demean him.
Exactly.
It was meant to demean him.
Yep.
It was meant to demean him. Like, you're above this. You know what I mean? But I'm like, well, why the hell was his, you know what I mean? His little elitist ass in Waffle House. Like, you got that much money, you can buy a Waffle House. Why is you in Waffle House, fam? Like, this don't even make no sense. You pulling out all this money, but you eating a $5.99 jump off, and you mad because they got pickles on it, you little fucker. Like, I almost want to go to Atlanta and bump into fucking King and just get a job at. Well, I wish the fuck. I don't play them kind of games. I don't do disrespect well.
And that's why.
And I would be mortified if I seen one of my children do that. I would be like, then you talk about your behavior. If you would have seen Boston or somebody twerking, if I would have seen my kid doing some shit, I would have been on there like, oh, just so you niggas know, I didn't raise this motherfucker like that. That shit's crazy, and I'm about to scream on it. Like, that shit's bananas.
That's
to
what
me,
I'm saying.
You
gotta
do that
think,
shit.
Hank, Lil Dre would have just walked the fuck out. And for motherfuckers to really come from that, that's what you know when they don't come from that. Because pickles and shit, now I'm gonna throw these pickles off, or nigga didn't put no pickles on, yo, keep going. That shit ain't enough to go back in the Waffle House and talk about.
No, they would have just got petty. Like you said, my kids would have threw the shit on the floor, slung the pickles across the fucking room. Like, fuck these pickles. Shit, I said no pickles, nigga. Like, and laughed about it, and it would have been over.
They kept it moving. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, little Dre couldn't explain to me why he told a motherfucker older than him working at the Waffle House how he would have pistol whipped him. In no motherfucking way I would have been on my kid's side at all. And we would have went up there and he would have had to put some straightening on that shit. Like, he would have had to apologize to that man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit wouldn't have just been, and that's what I mean, that's missing. He knew T.I. would do what? Take defense to it. So when he did it, he already knew his parents okay shit like that. Because if they didn't okay that shit, he would have never did that shit. If he would have felt my parents have an issue when I do this shit, he would have never did it.
At all.
And that's what I be really feeling like. If the home is not in order, then your kid's not in order. See, that's what I'm saying. Back in the days, it was different because I do feel a lot of us was a product of our environment. Like, a lot of us just got hit with that shit. It don't matter if you was an okay kid, a good kid. At some point, you became a product of what the fuck you was around. Now, these kids don't have that problem, so I really feel now this shit is a real home thing. If your kid is 6, 7, and they swearing up a storm, that mean the motherfuckers in the house swear like that. It's just not your kid is thinking about this or watching movies and picking. No, that means whoever they are influenced by really speaks like that.
But the other part is, like, I grew up in a house full of cussers. Like, my aunt and my mother swore all the time. But I was very clear that I was not to be swearing. My mother was clear on telling me, do as I say, not as I do. That was her favorite shit to me.
Oh, my God.
Do as I say, not as I do.
But
don't give a fuck what you see me doing. Do what the fuck I said you do.
That's what I'm trying to say is missing, because even in our parents' shortcomings, they still didn't push it on us. And they always made a point to tell you on why not to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come in, everybody drinking, somebody will test you. You want something to drink? Nah, I'm cool. You better not have said you wanted something. This shit right here ain't good for you. Like, that was the thing. Motherfuckers wanted to drop jewels on you. Now, it's no jewelry, so these kids are just running. And I feel all these kids kind of just figure this shit out as they go and bump their heads. Because a lot of these kids don't come into the world of society and be equipped. Kids get equipped as they go. That's why certain people, kids, you mean, they be like, damn, your kid act older or he's real chill, because they just used to the fucking kids that's just wild, trying to figure it out.
Learning on the job.
And I tell people that when you see a kid that ain't acting up and, you know, he's not wild, usually you're going to run into his parents, they're not going to be wild. When you see that kid that, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to get my mother and all that shit, please believe her mother will come out like that.
Like I think I grew up wild, but I just knew I didn't want my kids that way. I just didn't want them to, because there was so many different experiences that came with it. And you know what I mean? Every time you looked up, someone was getting killed, you know, raped, murdered, whatever the hell it was, and it was just too much. I think I got PTSD still from years of shit that I've gone through just in them projects alone, things that I've had to see, witness, or whatever.
And I think that,
so I just didn't want them to grow up like that.
I think that too, because like I said, everything back then was do it to get out. Go to school, get the fuck out the hood. Yo, you get money in the hood, get the fuck out the hood. Everything was to get out. It's like now everything is just about clout, being glorified. Nothing is for a purpose. Like, these kids don't get money for a purpose. That's why they get this shit, they blow this shit. These little niggas be getting 20 and 30 racks at one time.
I'll get it back.
And a blow
But Johnny,
all that shit in the mall.
Johnny, you don't think that King deserved to get, like, at least his back wisdom teeth slapped out? Because you could tell he ain't never been popped in the mouth before. He's never been popped in the mouth for coming out. You can tell no one, he ain't never said something. Somebody gave him that look and cut, like, he don't respond to when they cut him. You know, your parents can cut you a look and you could tell he don't respond to any of that. Mm-hmm. He's never been popped in his mouth unexpectedly. He needs to get his wisdom teeth knocked out. Just leave it on the right hand side one time and he'll chill. I'm telling you, he ain't on that type of time. That's what I really
say about all these kids. That's why they talk like that, because when you spoke and then been punched in the mouth or smacked in your mouth, you learn how to cut that shit quick. The way these kids talk, we was just saying that earlier, it's no consequences to nobody's actions these days. Like, you can do some shit and everybody just still stick with what you did. It's not about what should have came with what you did. And that's why I feel it's so much when we were saying, like, the police shooting and shit. It's like, who, not the ones we really see, okay, this shit was, but some of them shits, who do you blame? Is it the parents this fucking kid came from? Or was it the cops? And a lot of shit be the parents, because it's no listening. If your kid, if a bunch of kids, you know, they parents say some shit and they say fuck it, then you think when the cops say it, they gonna listen?
I mean, typically the children that are not listening to the cops don't even have a respect for the law anyway, but I think that's just based on a lot of the shit that they've seen and growing up around and the way they're treated. So they don't even have a respect for police. So it's, you know, they develop this, you know what I mean?
But I think it's also too with your understanding certain shit like license registration. All that is shit you have. You can't at any moment then tell them what the fuck you gonna do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that is the hard-headed shit that a lot of people go through. Yo, they say step out the car. They step out the car. They say, we need you to walk over here. Nah, I ain't got to walk over there. Yeah, we need you to walk over here. You're detained. Oh, no, I'm about to just go back and sit in my car. You can't go sit in your car. But a motherfucker that understands the rules and know what's going on, he understands that. Even if I'm in the right, I got to walk all this shit out the right way.
We know better. We know enough. You know, as soon as we get pulled over, we already got our registration, our license right already ready to go. We ain't got time for the bullshit.
We ain't even trying to bend over.
Hands is on the steering wheel, windows down, her head is out. Can I help you, officer?
I'm telling you.
Can I reach and get my shit, nigga? Like, you know what I mean? You know what the routine is.
And I'm telling you, even somebody said that to me the other day. He said, yo, you know you supposed to ask them, can you go in your pocket and get... And I said, damn, bro, I never asked them that shit.
Absolutely.
I just always start leaning up and going in my back pocket. But when he said it, I said, it makes sense. You are supposed to say, I'm going to reach in my glove compartment and get this. But it's plenty of times they just walked up, license registry. I just start reaching for all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think listening comes with a lot of that. I really feel a lot of this shit comes from in the home. I think once it's some respect in the home, then a kid could walk out and respect other people. I feel if there's no respect in the home, then motherfuckers go outside not respecting nobody.
Starts in the home.
Because I think love, all that shit comes from within your home. You have to feel loved in your home. All these things for you to move with it, you got to feel it in where you stay.
That was a sermon.
It'd be so many of these kids
Deacon
too.
Craft.
Like, it'd be so many kids running around with no love in them, just moving. And really, when you get to talk to them, be like, nah, I never had a motherfucker that loved me. So that's why I moved. And then you start to understand shit a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell motherfuckers that I came from a lot of shit, but a lack of love wasn't motherfucking one of them. You know what I'm saying? So my thinking and upbringing was different. That's what I'm saying. It was like I knew shit I was doing, but I also knew, okay, this shit wrong too. You know what I'm saying? It was certain shit I wouldn't do. Like, I'm not grabbing an old lady's bag because I'm going to be fucked up somebody did it to my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit, it was like, it's starting the love you have for the people in your household and some of the shit you would do.
Amen. I mean, Beyonce.
You did?
Because Beyonce is my Lord.
Go ahead. Then you have one more on there. You might as well ask Train why she's on there.
No, I was going to close up shop, but here's a good one. Kind of ended on a little bit of a light note, Miss Tree, in the world.
Okay.
So your man proposes marriage to you. I'm talking about at the Celtics game, on the Jumbotron, and you don't give a fuck that he has done this in public, but you still gonna say no because you don't want to marry this man and you don't care about
I was ready to be out, but I had to come back.
So once you say no, what are the conditions that you continue with the relationship, or is it just totally broken up?
So he puts on this big display.
Well, I was just being facetious. It could be in private, like either one.
No, it can't be in private because we talked about it being in public. So he came out like he invited you out. You look, your family's there, his family's there. He asks you to marry him. You say no. Do you plan for after that y'all to be together? Is it still like, no, we're not gonna get married, but we got a relationship?
Well, I tell you this, if I was a dude, she better not plan to be with me. So I don't know what the fuck she would be doing, but I wouldn't be planning to be in that relationship if I was a dude. Now, if I was a female, not if I was a female, but being a female, if I said no, I think it would be some level of some kind of caveat, like no, not right now, or no, or we're not like. But then I guess I would say yeah, and then we would talk about that later if it was some other caveat. If you're saying no, it's kind of like you don't want to be with the person at all.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, because you typically would just say yeah, and then when you get back to the house, like, I really want to marry you, but we need to work on this, and this.
That was what I was thinking about. If I said, first of all, I would think, I said this earlier, that no one's a mind reader, but I would hope that my man would propose to me knowing that I would say yes. You know what I mean? Like I said, no one's psychic, but I'm hoping that we have the type of relationship that you know me enough to know it's time to ask her. She's ready, we're ready. But if I said no, it has to be some type of, like you said, no, not right now, we're not ready. Like, I'm in debt, sir. I don't want to get married and now we're both in debt because what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. So not right now.
Right.
There could be so many other reasons. Not love, like you said, love might not be one of them. Maybe finances.
But I think if any of that is true, I believe what Maul said. Like, if you thought, okay, any of these things, you would say yeah, and we would talk later. I think yeah to the marriage don't mean we're getting married tomorrow.
Right.
So I think if y'all have little issues, money ain't right, or right now we don't have a house we want, whatever it might be, I feel her answer would still be yeah. Now, vice versa, if you asked a man to marry you, he said no, would you stay with him?
Miss Tree and Boston Craft, I will paint my front porch with a nail polish bottle before I ask a man to marry me, first of all. I will walk over hot coals and then a line of nails before I ask a man to marry me. So I'm not sure about that.
It's a whole hell no for me. Like, I ain't never gone down that road. Like, I can implicitly say never.
Oh, no. You ain't. So neither one of y'all will ask a man to marry.
No.
If y'all don't mind me asking, why not?
I don't feel like women should be pursued in relationships in that way. I said before, you don't see, lionesses out in the wilderness, hunting down them male lions. They just spray their shit and they come holler and they decide if they want to be bothered.
Not the
I feel
pheromones.
like that's, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like and then they be like, all right, then they be like, him. Then, if they don't want to be bothered, they sit down. If they want to be bothered, they stand up a little, you know what I mean? And now they're niggas of the family. I think that's how it should be. I don't think females should pursue men, especially in that way. I think it makes it like very lopsided.
I am gonna say because I'm pro everybody as long as you're an adult and you're not hurting anybody. If you are a woman and you want to propose to your man, I'm not saying, oh, are you stupid? That's your business. I just would not do it. And the reason why I would not do it is because I happen to be straight and subscribe to, like, I date men, I love men. I subscribe to healthy heterosexual relationships, right? Not saying that I'm a pick me or I just will be dumb for a man, but some things I do and am willing to play traditional gender roles with. Some things, and that is one of them. And I don't, like you said, I don't think that wouldn't be for me to ask a man to marry me.
I don't think I would mind either way. I don't, and I'm saying, like, say my sister, if she was like, yo, I asked him to marry me, I would probably clown, but I really wouldn't.
You would still clown, though?
No, I would clown and talk shit. That's what anything you gotta expect, especially if you family, you close. We clowning. You got on your knees. You know what I'm saying? Like, some shit gonna shoot out. Yo, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? But to really, like, feel away, yo, she weak for, man, I really wouldn't go that far.
I don't think so either. I just know that not Machine Gun Johnny. You do it.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't clown either. I wouldn't make fun of them. I wouldn't, judge their choice or decision. I just know that for me, I would be like, shit. The motherfucker out there looking for somebody he want to marry now. He done married you. Now he's looking for the motherfucker he really, like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, I don't want to run that risk. I don't want to be the choosy. I'd rather be the chosen. Fuck that. Like,
I think most women say that. Say y'all rather be chosen. And I think, especially up north, I think up north we have more pride. Pride run deep up north, like, than it do down south. Down south, bitches don't give a fuck. All three of us asked them today. Let's see who we choose.
Oh my gosh. Hello?
Hello?
and it actually, they got married and they're still married to anybody. Either anybody that example?
I don't.
Which one?
What, the woman asking the man?
Yeah, woman asking the man to marry him and them being married for any length of time in a happy marriage. I'm just curious to know if that exists.
I think if any chick asks me to marry her and I said, yeah, that shit forever, because that mean that bitch feel I'm taking everything. You ain't gotta stop doing that. Just keep doing what you doing. Let's go.
Yeah, so, I don't know anybody. I don't know any woman that's ever proposed to a man at all, so I'm not sure.
Hey, we got
that would be an interesting poll. Y'all should do a poll one day.
Right, I was gonna say that too, and I was gonna say we got Spank still on the phone. Spank, what you think? You think cause you're married. Shout out to Spank being married. You know what I'm saying? Say your wife would have said no, y'all would have just kept being together.
If she'd have said no to my marriage,
yeah, if you would have been like, yo, let's get married,
yeah.
Right?
I think that might have fucked everything up.
You would have been like, nah, I'm the fuck out of here.
Like, relationship done.
I don't know if I'd have been out of there, but I know shit would have been different.
Okay.
What if she would have explained what if she would have tried to explain her no after, say if like we all was there, everybody was there, you asked her, she was like no. But then later on that night, she was like, yo, this is why I think not. Would you understand or would you be, nah, fuck that. You should have said yeah and told me about this shit later.
Yeah, I don't even think I'd have been there that night.
You say you're going to find the next Mrs. Spank immediately.
Nigga, sit down. My bags got packed while we was still talking.
Nah. Now, before a nigga to do that, I'm just saying, me in general, to open up to somebody and say, "Will you marry me?" Knowing this package, like, and then for you to be like, "Nah,"
So you were
that's
confident
just
that
crazy.
you knew your mate enough to know that she would say yes.
Hell yeah, I was came out the womb confident. Hell yeah.
Now, was this, because we was talking about it earlier, was this something that y'all spoke about, like, throughout the time being together? Yo, when we get married, boom, boom, boom. So it was kind of like you knew she would say yeah, or you just popped it out?
Nah, I didn't know she would say yeah. It was like, nah, I did not know she was going to say yeah. Nah, she's scared. She was scared of me.
Oh lordy.
Nah, I did not know. Nah, not like that. You know how it is when
Right,
you
Yes.
grow
right.
up in the
Yep.
neighborhood. And she knew me. We both knew each other since we was teenagers, man. I mean, like 15, 16.
Oh.
And she didn't know me. I wasn't the one running around with a Bible in my hand.
Mm.
I was the one her mother and brother and was like, nah, don't go around him. Stay away from him.
Oh, bullshit.
So there
Until
was
she got
no
older and I
pillow
stole
talk.
her.
So
Nah,
so
no pillow talk.
how would you feel if before you have she would have proposed to you?
How would I have felt?
Yeah, would you have accepted it the same? Like if you would have proposed, fuck it, let's do it, or you would have felt
Nah, I'm
like,
gonna
yo,
keep it
she
real.
wearing the
Okay,
pants
when
now?
now check this out. When you say propose, she come to me and be like, the engagement ring and everything like that.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, like, yo, let's get married. She get down on one knee, yo, boom, boom, boom. I want you to do
That
this
would have
with me.
been pressure because I'd have felt like she was rushing me, like I was taking too long or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
okay.
way to look at it.
Even
Like,
if
yo,
you felt, you were ready, it's just a different type of pressure because she asked first.
Yeah, because you can feel ready until somebody else say, "Yo, let's do it." Then it's like, hold up," and then you make it. I know I would have felt like I was being rushed. I was taking too long. Let's do this.
Mm. Okay.
I'm traditional, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, and all that woman proposing to a man and all that. That's a myth. And the ones that do, it's a game. Them the same ones like we talked about that place that want to play in that man booty. It's the same one.
yeah,
It's a game.
I would definitely think that as a man, that shit's a little like weird. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some shit I could laugh
Exactly.
about. I definitely laugh at a bitch. Like, oh, bitch, you bugging. Probably take that bitch ring and wiffle bat that shit. But
You said
just
serve yourself.
no bullshit. Just for her thinking to go get some shit for me, some wild
You go
shit
put
like
your
that.
ring on your finger.
Yeah, put my ring on my finger. Like,
But not saying it can't happen. But like I said, it's the build up to the point. You never know. She might make all the moves all the way up to that point, and just that might be the last step. Like, yo, nigga, we about to take this jump. You jumping?
yeah, because like you said, the one thing it really do feel like is pressure. You know what I'm
It is
saying?
to a
It
man.
feel like, okay, you're running shit, so this means you might have the church ready next month. Like it's just a bunch of shit
Exactly.
that just go through your head. Then it's like, if I let you lead with this, then you think I'm ever gonna get the ball back?
Your balls back.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because now you kind of got my balls once I say yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like, now you done reverse roles. You know what I'm saying? So now at night, you could be like, nigga, shut the fuck up, turn the TV off.
Make me a sandwich.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm the nigga getting sandwiches and hot rags and shit. Like,
Put some ice in my
you know what I'm
kibasi.
saying? Instead of her getting up now, she like, nigga, get that blue rag. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's kind of putting too much control in a woman's hand, like, for her to do it, even if she could do it and be sincere about it and
but
really mean it.
do you believe some women need some control in a relationship?
I do.
I think.
Okay.
I think.
That's a big step for you. Thank you. That for you to say that was major. He said I do. He
Well,
said I do. Okay.
I think some women really need control in their relationship, but those are a lot of women that lose a lot. Like they lose more than they win.
Well, wouldn't
Oh,
that same woman that her man proposed to her, you don't think she felt or would feel pressure 2?
No, because up until the point, to me, I'm just speaking for myself. When I asked the woman, can I marry her? After she say, yeah, everything else is in her hands for her to do. I'm not doing shit else. That was my part. I'm not picking no church. I'm not getting no food. I'm not inviting motherfuckers.
I've been maid of honor to, I think, 3 weddings so far in my 40 years, and you are absolutely right. That is the norm. Yeah. The man's job is to show up with a haircut and look cute and smell good.
My wife wasn't having that.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, the only thing I might do
turn
is
my
pick
back.
my suit.
I had to put input on everything. I don't give a damn.
I would want my fiance to put input, because then if you put it in my hands and it's something you don't like, well, homie, you didn't help me. You didn't want to help me. So now I made all the decisions.
But the wedding is for the woman. It ain't about what he like. You don't care. He asked you to marry him. Now you supposed to go make your dream come true. He wasn't dreaming of a wedding. Like, he may have dreamed of probably having a wife when he was young or some shit like that, but he wasn't dreaming of no extravagant wedding and all that stuff like that. That's you.
Oh, bullshit.
So when he say marry and give you that ring and tell you make it happen, that's for you.
I mean, that's definitely not a problem for me, because, I love to plan a party.
It's like, other than that, you leave it to niggas, man.
So you won't
me
get
and
married.
My bitch get married at the podcast. Nigga, we gonna get on the boat in South Boston.
That's knowing your mate.
We bad hood shit, nigga.
Not everybody wants the fairy tale wedding. If I got married, I would be fine with
it. And get some shots.
Child, if I got married, I would be one. I want to get married. I want to have like a backyard party or a beach party. Like, I don't need to be in church and have the big frilly dress that I can't even take a piss in. Everyone's idea of what their wedding should be is different. So
exactly.
You might need some input.
Everybody
in the beginning
is definitely different, but my shit gotta be big, extravagant. Like, it gotta be big.
So then that's when you talk to your mate.
What, yours got to be big? So you got to take part in it then.
Nah, but she should know that. The woman I marry should know that. We got to be in the church. Everything got to be traditional. We have to do this shit the right way. It's a one-shot deal, because I really am a nigga that feel like if I had a wife, we get a divorce. That shit over, man. That shit ain't no keep trying and fuck all that. That shit a one-shot deal. So whoever the fuck that woman is, then it's going to be a bunch of bitches behind you.
Child, God help you.
Ain't going to be, oh, now you heard he got married again. I think that shit's hella tacky. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it be like, motherfucker was married, got a divorce, and married within 2 years. Like, you pick like shit. Yeah. You pick like a magic box. Like, nigga, let me get
that little toy at the arcade with the claw.
Shit, just the claw just grabbing shit. You like, oh, nah, that's what popped out. Fuck it.
You
know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I think it's a one-shot deal, and that's why I feel everybody that first time should do it woman in they man's way. Like, it should be y'all way, the way y'all see it. It's y'all wedding, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even if y'all do say, yo, let's do it on the beach and do this shit real quick, and I just want all my niggas, or, you know what I'm saying? However a person feel to do it, I feel you should do it in that manner.
Mm-hmm. For shizzle. That was interesting.
But
did y'all hear about Ricky Williams took his wife's last name? Speaking of role reversals. You know Ricky Williams, the running back?
That was some whole shit.
He said his spirit guided him to do
it. I ain't gonna lie, nigga. Let that last name be Obama, nigga. My shit switch like a motherfucker, nigga. That night, nigga. My shit probably switch
that Obama last name.
Fuck shit,
Kraft Obama.
I might take Trump.
Nigga, I'm gonna fuck that. I'm gonna fuck his whole bloodline up. She taking mine. I'm gonna fuck the whole bloodline up.
He said he's gonna make his name Kraft
they
Winfrey.
Gonna be like, ah, man, now you done put the Obamas with the fucking Browns. This is crazy.
It's going crazy.
We just got to change all them to Obamas.
Can't have Browns and Obama.
We gonna wipe that whole shit out. But nah, I think taking your wife's last name, it depends though.
That depends if it's money, man. If y'all got money, man, you got a wife that's fucking foundational. Well, she got wealth beyond wealth, and she ain't taking your last name, and you might as well take her or split that bitch or make one up. That's what we had an argument about. She wanted to make up her last name.
That's interesting.
Well,
start a whole new family.
She wanted to combine both last names. I said, man, listen, man.
A lot of people
no disrespect to my wife, but we ain't doing that.
A lot of people have both last names too. Like
hyphenated.
they have like theirs and
Yeah.
yours, like on their name. You got to say both.
Yep.
And, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think
Oh, yeah.
Kim Kardashian is still a Kardashian.
She's Kim Kardashian West.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think she dropped Kardashian.
No, absolutely not.
That would have been it.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely
I
So
don't know if she ain't dropping that.
I think if it was some shit like that, like my wife's last name being added on, maybe that'll work.
You would go for that? If we got married, my name would be Machine Gun Johnny Kelly Brown, not Machine Gun Johnny Brown. You would let your wife
Nah,
take
it
both?
depends. Like if it was some shit like Oprah Winfrey.
If you had money.
Fuck shit.
If you had already had movies in your last name, if you did 2 motion pictures in your name already, or you were also some books already, your name's accumulating wealth. Your name is just sitting there next to the Pepsi in the refrigerator. That can, we can,
the Pepsi with the
we
ice
can mix
chips.
that up. Now, we can change this up. We might, for real. It's only when you got money shit like that counts, man, and all that shit matters, man.
I think that might be another
You ain't got
poll.
you ain't got no money.
Before
go
we
with what
wrap
sounds
this
good.
up, right? I want to ask everybody that's on the line, and we can all get out of here. Fucking your person that you want to marry, you want them to sign that paper.
The prenup?
They don't want to sign it. How do y'all move forward?
I think wealth comes into play. Again, wealth and status come to play. I'll say in my instance, right this very second, if I had a fiance or they proposed, I'm doing this podcast, but I'm not at Spotify level yet. I'm not at Joe Rogan level yet. But I want to be and I might be. So that's something we got to talk about. We're growing together, but I built this out. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. So that's something I would have to think about. If I get famous like Joe Rogan, now do you think you're entitled to my hard work in the gym? I'm not sure.
I can tell you this. A nigga or a bitch is going to feel entitled. I don't give a fuck if they fucked with you and the shit was 75% built. They felt like, nah, I was there for that year.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't give a fuck if you say, I had 5 years before you. They like, nigga, that 1 year I was there, your shit started taking off.
Well, then that's something to talk about. If I get to 5 years and then the 6th year we go ape shit and get $1 million deals, I would probably think about taking into consideration how you helped me and how you stood by me.
So would you sign one? Now, say if it was your fiance in the deal, he got a pod, his shit's moving, he's like, yo, I want you to sign this paper, would you sign it?
It depends on the stipulations, just like in my case. It depends, because prenup is the language is so intense. And a prenup is what the couple and the lawyers deem it to be. So it depends on how it looks. If he
like,
tell
when you leave
you get
with
nothing.
Shit.
No. If I leave with nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Except for the shit you came with.
No.
That is fucking, do you understand how somebody can say they love you but play into the future and say, well, nah, fuck shit. If shit go
I'm not saying I'm gonna take you to the bank and clear you out, but we have to talk about the language in the prenup. If I was there for you like Mary in that
married
song,
to you 90 days. What the fuck are you talking about?
What
the fuck you doing 90 days?
Like I said,
you made some sausages and shit. I'm gonna reimburse you for all that.
Well,
what was that?
Like I said,
what was that? $1,000. And I'm gonna key you to that shit on EBT.
It depends on how I was there for my mate when they blew up. If I wasn't there at all, then we could talk about
nothing at all.
No, not nothing at all. Because when we live together, we work together, we pool our resources together to make a home. That needs to be taken into consideration if you do something that I leave. Because that's also in prenups. If you leave and you can't prove that I cheated on you, then you leave with nothing. But if you can prove it, then you get this.
That's cool.
All the language is different.
Ma, you excited? She's still on the job? Nah, it's just, I think it's Spade. Spade.
Yeah.
Yo, you would sign it?
Say what?
You signing the prenup?
Hell no. I ain't signing nothing. But if I was given one, somebody got to sign it. If I had that money and I came to a woman like sign this prenup and she's not signing it, we got to have a conversation.
So she would need to sign it, but if it was the other way around, you wouldn't sign it for her.
No, I wouldn't sign that because it's a game going on here, man. You got to no.
Okay.
I'm one way sometimes.
Nigga
All right.
said dick costs more than pussy.
Huh?
Nigga said dick costs more than pussy.
Swear he's a fucking comedian over here.
I'm telling you. Yo, when I had my first show, nigga, I'm telling you.
Lord.
He's
Right
willing
here.
to
But nah, me, yo, I'm not gonna lie, I always feel up and down with shit like that. I feel like if I love you, I shouldn't have to ask you to sign one, but in my right mind, it's like, this bitch will try to take everything.
I feel if I'm asking you to sign one, I don't love you.
Right. I mean, there's no other way around. There's some undertone
Yeah.
to that prenup.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to be
If I'm asking
realistic.
you to sign that, you're just somebody I met in Brazil or something, and we just been together a couple of months. Yeah, I don't think I would offer nobody that been there a little while, even if I had the money beforehand. I just
Now,
thought about
I
it.
think in my prenup would be, because no bullshit,
Yo,
I can
what?
see me doing one, but it would also come with like, yo,
Stipulation.
it'd be like, yo, if you
You got to
did,
perform this much a year. You
boom,
gotta,
you would get
you gotta, you
250,000.
gotta cook.
You're gonna sign to a
Ooh.
number that day. You're not gonna be able to go to court and get a number. You're gonna sign to a number. So me, I'm not gonna lie, realistic. It depends. If you're moving, you're doing what you gotta do, everything as far as you get your own money. Cool. So I'm worth $15 million.
Okay.
You might could get $500,000
What on the out
on the
when it's
out.
over?
$500,000 out of $15 million.
Fuck shit. If I was dipping from my woman and she really had it, and say she was just at 15, she said, yo, I'm gonna give you 500,000. I'm the fuck out of it. Gone.
That's because you have an icebox where your heart used to be.
No, because I really know I'm gonna make this motherfucking money work. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like. If you're just looking at it, this is it until I find another man with money or another bitch with money, then I see why you're trying to get a high number. But if you really feel, shit didn't work. Like, because I feel if me and my
If
female
you ain't with the
didn't work
games, that
and it wasn't
500,000 would be way more than enough.
exactly. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck would you
I
do
think
with
you're saying.
500,000? 9 out of 10, I'm gonna make sure you got a crib when you left. All that to be paid for, but 500 extra thousand, man. If you don't get the fuck out of here, I could get you hit for 20.
It's cheaper to keep her.
I could keep 480 to the head.
It's cheaper to keep us. Now stop.
You know what I'm saying? They could give somebody would get $10,000. Motherfucker, ice a nigga out. What you want me to do? Stab
Half a
this
tray
bitch?
on the right night. I said half a tray on the right night.
Half a tray on a nice night. Nigga had 2 pills. I'll knock that shit off right now. Let me get it.
Then your silly behind would be behind the
Roll
jail
that up. I'll be right back.
like
No
Ray
bullshit.
Caruth when y'all do that silliness.
But nah, on some real shit, I feel like if there's no hate when we break up, because it shouldn't be hate when you and a motherfucker like, yo, I'm good or you're good or we good to fucking together. It shouldn't be the way it's like, yo, I hate you, so I want to take everything from you.
Well, it shouldn't be no hate,
Exactly.
but
Or
people.
plotting on a goddamn on a prenup. Like most be plotting on that prenup, man.
Say if you fucked with a person, right? You never been a part of it, but you fucked with a man during him starting a radio station. Radio station is worth $15 million. You dip. What do you feel is the number you should get?
I'm not sure, actually.
No, I'm just saying out of 15 mil. Just give me like a.
I really can't because, like you said, it's too many variables. Now, if you just kicking me out the door with 500,000, I would be upset about that. But like you just said you're gonna have a house paid for and a car to drive around in, and this.
No, there is no and this.
There's no and.
Fuck no, it's 500,000 is the end. Just a house, a car, so that shit sleep, move.
And you gotta hustle the rest because you had my last name for a little while.
Nigga, you're supposed to be able to utilize the shit you took in around me. Those supposed to be more valuable than the 500,000.
Now, if I married Joe Buttons, and he's already at where he's at right now, if I married him today, I think there has to be a laundry list of when this happens and I choose to leave, I get this. When this happens and you choose to ditch me, I get this. When it's way too many variables. So what if I marry Joe Buttons and Joe Budden? You know, black people put an S on everything. What if I married him and we talked about it and he preferred me to be a housewife? Yeah, I can hustle, but if my job is to take care of you in this home, then I'm not getting as much money as I could be working.
There's no motherfucking creator that's going to want you to be a home wife. Not one.
Not one with that amount of money?
And you marrying Joe Buttons, what house she taking? What house she taking care of?
No, if I was married and my husband preferred, even if,
no,
let's just say.
Joe Buttons.
What you mean?
You said Joe Buttons. I said you marrying somebody like Joe Buttons with money and money. What house you really taking care of? How you really gonna what are you gonna do other than sex to prove to him that you supposed to get this?
If let's just say it's a common man that works for.
Because bitches be thinking that a dick suck and pussy for 9 months was amazing.
Well,
until a nigga cash their ass out, like, oh, this is what you thought of them now? Oh man, listen, man, that's $1,000 a month.
If
man.
We're married,
here's your 9 racks.
If we're married, I'm hoping that my job is just not to fucking suck you. Like, who's taking care of the home when you're out working?
The maid.
No, I'm.
Well, I said who? Because you're not.
Why wouldn't
I? While you're out working, you out on the beach somewhere. Ain't no, they got people taking care of the house.
What do you think you want to send to eat? Who you thought?
What could you do, or what do she supposed to do, or what she could be doing to prove that? Because it's hard when it's money.
It is, but I would like to, if I was to be anyone's housewife, how about the regular man that works at the common man that works at Boston Water and Sewer, or the construction guy? Good job, good money, but he prefers me stay home and take care of him in the house and the kids.
Boston Water and Sewer, when you leave, he'll just give you everything. That nigga can start over.
What? All right, never mind.
Nigga, I don't need this shit. Fuck out of here. Nigga got a good ass job, nigga. Fuck you think? Start all this shit all over again and get back right. Them niggas be like, take everything.
The point I'm making to answer the question is that I would be taking care of the home and the kids.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I'm cooking, I'm going shopping.
Joe don't have, he got a little homie with son. So he'll probably be coming through. He's a Virgo. Doubt he have you taking care of his kid. So you can X that out. The most a woman would be doing is giving lip service. Shout out Angela Yee. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really it. Like, when you really come into some shit already made, there's nothing for you to make.
He got people he pay to do everything. What actually could you do?
You just fell into a fucking beautiful, amazing situation. All you could do is try
live it up until it is.
Now you got to create. And see, that's what I tell when you get around creators like that and a motherfucker like you enough to say, okay, you going to live in a crib, and you have to create. That's why I tell niggas I love hoes. Why? Because hoes is always creating. Why I'm creating, they creating.
Start packing the bag with
I missed it.
Go ahead, Spank. What you say? Niggas, they hear you.
Nah, I said she gonna have to start stealing a lot of and stuffing it in bags and shit for the let go. Cause it ain't permanent. Nothing like that's permanent. Nothing.
I'm telling you, because motherfuckers just think like, women think good dick sucks is like the end all be all, or yo, she got some good pussy in. You know what I'm saying?
No one thinks that.
No one thinks.
No. I don't think that. You know what I think?
That's what a lot of bitches
I
love
think
all
it's just
just
a
pussy.
combination of the man and woman, the need part. The man needs the woman needs the
Right, but
man.
see,
You
most
see what I'm saying?
women when they come into situations like that, they and not maybe Johnny, because like I said, she's a Virgo, but a lot of women don't look for what do he need. What is he? You know what I'm saying? What can I help with? See, they don't look from that part because they look at it when they come in. He already got a motherfucker cooking. He already so she's not thinking one morning she should get up and make breakfast. Why? Because she already seeing cooks.
Mm,
If the bitch is seeing the laundry
mm.
already done, she's not saying in her head, but damn, I did see that bag last night. I could have grabbed that, just did it.
Okay.
Because then we could cut back on a bunch of these services.
Doesn't that equal taking care of the home while you're at work? I'm going shopping, I'm cooking, and I'm cleaning. If that's it, that is if I don't have a stellar career of my own, and you're asking me just to be a housewife. Things I can do at home to make money. I can be a content creator myself, an influencer. I can afford to be an influencer now. But if I'm at home, I can still. If it's
You
just
see-
me and you, I can still cook and clean.
Nah, but
and-
see, men
The old
appreciate.
school wife deserves the prenup.
I think
There is no more old school wife. That's who deserves the
I think
prenup.
right now more than this is some real shit, right? And not even my BM Jennifer. That bitch would have took me for everything too. But I think back then I would have trusted a bitch without a prenup than right now. That's a fact.
I told you why.
You would
Back
trust
then-
one without a prenup?
No, back then I would have married a bitch saying like 96, 97 without a prenup. Over right now? Fuck no, my nigga, you crazy as hell.
He got an icebox with
Real
his
shit.
heart
Like
is
right
heavy.
now in 2020 where everything is about clout and trying to live some way, fuck no, my nigga, because you know a bitch
It would
coming
have
for
to
it.
be a prenup.
Real shit.
It would
Because
have
if
to be a
not, like,
prenup.
you know how many, even if she mean it, right? You know how once y'all stop speaking, so many people gonna pump that shit in the head? Yo, you was only gonna take $2 million. You know you could have got 7. Then you get these fucking lawyers. They call, be in your ear. We could shoot foot, and then you're like, damn, in a mate. You know, and then remember that night he was like, fuck me, and then the nigga stayed at Keisha's crib, and yeah, see if you can get that 10 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit changed. I
So
really
some of
believe that shit right
be-
now.
Some of that people put in their prenup. Depends on who cheats, who gets what.
Man, I wouldn't give a fuck if I cheated, did cheat. You still ain't getting no extras.
I'm just saying that there are some people that agree to those
Man, I tell
stipulations.
yo, it's gonna be a fucking plate made for you when you get here, right? And this is the only motherfucking plate. It's eat this shit or starve. This shit is not a plate that's optional. Like, nah, put some more yams on it.
You want cheese and your
Niggas ain't
eggs.
overstuffing plates like, nah, because see, that's what I'm saying. That's when the love's lost. I feel if a person love you, then who's looking forward to leaving? So I feel a bitch will sign anything. Cause she ain't looking
If
at
she
it
come
like,
to the
yo,
table,
I'm out.
if she come to the table and make shit double or make shit start rising, you got to give her that.
And
No
then
bullshit.
there's also stipulations in prenups where after
Because it is
5
those that hit
years,
that table and
after
hold
5
it down.
years, we can revisit the prenup.
But then I want to say this, man. Real people that have that bread, right? And this is a fact. And one day we should have a poll with this. When women leave, whatever a woman shot for, the only women that probably ever got way over was like Michael Jordan's wife, Jeff Bezos' wife. But everybody
Dr.
else,
Dre's wife,
Dr. Dre's wife,
Hellboy's wife.
Puffy's baby's mothers. Like, that's when you really have, like, over excessive. You have money like nobody in your family will probably ever be broke in a lifetime. So, you know what I'm saying? In no lifetime, ever. You know what I'm saying? So,
But that's that abnormal amount of money, though.
but I could tell you,
and even
like,
all his baby mamas get along. They all be chilling because he takes care of them.
I could tell you like a Joe from, say, like him and Sin. Whatever Sin was gonna take in court, I guarantee you for her and Joe to handle it out of court, he gave her more. I feel more women would get more if they didn't do the dumb shit. Because niggas know the women that was real. It don't matter how the fuck it played out. Even if you caught me cheating, I was ass naked, you out. A nigga still know when, nah, she was real as shit. She hung in there. She really helped me out. She really did. So it's only right I bless her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the right thing to do, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna do. In this story, there's no telling what he'll do. He'll be like, "Oh, you caught me? Well, fuck you. You can get out. You can always leave and not bless her, even though she was a good wife." So the prenup is for protection. You can very well be like, know what? I need a newer model.
See, that's what I'm saying. And what's her name been around me heavy summer, right? So her coming for a number would fuck around and make me chop anything down that she could possibly say. But her dipping would damn near get her close to half. She wouldn't get half. It'd be some shit like 70-30. But it would be a nice chunk.
That would be dependent
you know what I'm
on
saying?
you doing the right thing. So I think when people bring prenup to the table, it's because I need to be protected in case you decide to not do the right thing. Just because you should do something doesn't mean that you're going to do it. You should do that.
I don't know. Any woman that been around me and you put in that, like, I think it's only right. And I think with most men, when they real, they're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give you what is deserved. Because like I said, a lot of men know when women held them down. And not just held them down, no, yo, I cheated. Now I'm talking about real life shit. Fed me, cleaned me, clothed me, did shit, extra shit, showered me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when a woman done really sat in the trenches with you, so you're able to respect. That's what I mean about even if she's like, yo, I can't take it, I'm out. You still want to make sure she is good.
As you should.
I think.
But you never know what people's attitude changes when it comes to, you know what, Kraft, I'm leaving you.
Yep.
You done too much. I can't take it anymore.
I kind of think that if you ain't got no kids, you can't even ask for a prenup. You ain't got no kids, you can't ask for no prenup.
That shit. Well, I could kind of fuck with that.
But then do you revisit the prenup once you have kids?
Unless you been there, you could really say.
We ain't never revisited nothing.
Hold on. No, you can revisit it. If a motherfucker been with you over 10 years, been with you, no left and went and fucked with Lil Joe for 2 years and no, been with you.
There ain't no need of no prenup after that long.
You know what I'm saying? Like, certain shit just make people valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of shit take time to fuck with niggas for these many years. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with you, your marriage, your wife, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit. So, yeah, like, definitely. But I think when women come for it, I think it make men say, she's not getting nothing. I think that's when they try to lowball, because it's like a, damn, I done said we gonna get off this like 3 times.
Yes.
But yo, we out. Yo, listen, right? So you think in that time, say if your woman's like, yo, I'm out. Say if it was me and you, yo, I'm gone, whatever it is, the shit was too much, boom, I'm out. I say, okay, cool. I give you a number the same way I said 500,000. Do you think any woman think that first number is a number worth her fucking time?
I think it depends on the number. If I think you're trying to lowball me, because it's now the art of negotiation.
See, this is what I'm saying. Listen to what I said. I said the first number. Do you think they say, I eat that cool?
Depends on the number. Even if it's something astronomical, depends on the number. It depends on.
No, they're going to want more.
So exactly.
They're going to think you lowballing them regardless.
They're going to think you, so if you had 15 million,
but you the piece
said,
of shit that fucked everything up.
The only thing a woman understands is, I'm going to give you half. That's the only way that bitch ain't had nothing to say on that first strike. Nigga, if you gave her a privilege to say, I'm going to give you 40, I'm going to take 60, that bitch would still fight for 50-50. She still wouldn't have enough to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna give him the 10% because he was the nigga moving. Nope, they would say, well, shit, if you gonna give me 40, why wouldn't you just give me 50?
Mm-hmm.
Or you think not? You think she like, let me get that.
I think it depends on the relationship. It depends on the number. Depends on what happened. There's way
What
too
did
many variables.
just one more? What did Jeff Bezos' wife get?
I'm not sure, but he's like a gazillionaire. So
I know, but she got over like 100. Like, would she get something fucking?
I think
crazy?
it was 49 million, and it could be her, but because like
Billion.
No, I
Billion.
think, yeah, no,
She got billion.
yeah, she did not.
Well, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
She's a
Because
billionaire.
when he gave her the money, she overnight became the richest woman in the world. Soon as he gave her the
Yep.
money.
The next day.
So that's what I'm saying. Whatever that number was, you don't think Jeff
She fought
offered
for
her?
it.
You don't think he offered her something in the beginning? That was probably crazy high, but that bitch was like, "Nigga, you 200 billions in, and you offered me something with an M." Even though you said
Yep.
you was gonna give me 300 M's, you got big B's. It's like ain't nothing for you just to lose 20 billion a night.
Tonight.
Now you gotta explain to this bitch why you don't think 20 billion some shit. You should have came off for some pussy.
Oh,
It
well.
ain't like your head game was weak. I was fucking around all them nights. Now you gotta fuck her up. Like, bitch, listen, nigga.
You gotta get her back.
Oh, now you gotta, your pussy was dry as shit. So how much
Because
did we take out for the
yes.
dryness?
Yeah, now we're and we're
That shit
we're
right
the
there just
emotional
slash
ones.
100 M's off. You know what I'm saying? You never let me fuck you in your ass, so now it's another 100 M's off.
And we're the
You know what
emotional
I'm saying?
ones. We're the emotional petty
Like,
ones.
damn.
But women are the
Break it
emotional
all
petty
out.
ones. Please, y'all are petty.
Like, you ain't never sucked
petty.
my dick from the back, so that's another
No,
100 M's off. Like, bitch, you
humans,
just,
humans are petty.
They are, but it just seems
All
like the
humans are
women are
They say
labeled
men are
emotional
petty.
and
They say
petty.
women, humans are
I
petty.
think everyone has a petty
you don't think
gene
it,
in
you
them.
don't think it's
But
a
I
reason that
think-
Stedman's still with Oprah?
But I think
That
that
bitch never ain't high
women
enough.
are labeled
He's
emotional.
still alive?
Yeah.
Stedman still alive?
Nigga Stedman like, nigga, I can get that while I'm here.
I ain't heard nothing about him in a minute.
That's the
You
illest
don't.
nigga ever. Nigga, you never hear shit about Stedman.
That
You
nigga in the
won't.
cut.
You started hearing about Gil before you heard about Stedman, nigga.
Gail and her kids.
That nigga said, nigga, bring that bitch up front. He
That
said-
nigga got a weed strand coming out.
That nigga said,
That's
Hey, yeah.
Stedman Winfrey.
nigga got this Stedman strand coming out.
The
Niggas will
Stedman
fuck
Winfrey.
with that, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just the strand with the big O on it.
Fuck you,
That'll
nigga.
fuck
That
him and
Oprah pack.
Oprah's relationship up, nigga.
His face in the middle of the
That's
O.
what he doing.
No
Sitting,
bullshit.
he's sitting in the cup waiting for that Oprah pack.
Stedman
That's what we
probably
waiting
be
on.
smacking the shit out of Oprah when she could. Bitch, shut up, bitch. Give me that
Yeah.
lemonade.
Yeah.
Oprah like, Gil, get that
Stedman playing his
lemonade.
Okay.
position.
And he'll have that
He's
Suge
playing his
Avery.
position.
He'll get that
No
Suge Avery
bullshit.
tea in
But
it.
nah, man, we gonna get up out of here. You already know what it is, man. We in the building tomorrow.
Salute, baby.
You already
Salute,
know,
baby.
man.
This is
Come up
South
here,
Podcast, baby.
Fuck with us. How you healing
I'm
up?
coming,
You smooth?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. My shit's still wrapped up and shit, but I'm moving.
All right.
All right, well, we up here tomorrow. You already know we gonna see you. I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah.
I hit you once I end up ending everything and shit.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks for calling in.
You wanna wrap it up with all your people?
Yep, and press number 1 on that so you can end the live stream. Number 1 on the yep. This should stop podcast. Thank you for hanging in there with us, talking our ish.
Next time, man, call in too. All y'all sitting there not calling in. Motherfuckers call in. Stop
Texting
being
me on the
scared.
side. Comment on the thing. Don't text me. Don't text him.
Niggas
Call
probably
in.
listening to this shit getting some head like, man, my nigga, this shit only entertainment.
This should stop podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Machine Gun Johnny. That's Boston Craft.
My little
And
cousin, that nigga probably was getting his fit out for tomorrow. Like, nigga,
Did you end it, Fulio? You are hilarious. Come on, somebody.
I be hating that shit. I don't know why that shit.
We just trying to get the mousy mouse. You know we some aunties and uncles in here. You can do it. You can do it.
Need to get rid of this dumbass mouse.
It's not the mouse this time, actually. All right, I'm ending this recording.